Please let go of your distractions so that you can step into your design. Principle number 1 is understanding that we have goals without godly intent. Last episode, I was talking about doing the deeper work that's required. And when I think about going deeper into this, is understanding that the world wants to distract us and deceive us into thinking that true success is about making money. But what does God say? But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things should be added to you. And if the world can deceive us into thinking that money is success, then it can also distract us from what we already possess so that we start operating in lack. But what does God say? The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only, and not beneath. If you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, and are careful to observe them. Principle number 2 is simple. Don't blame the distraction, improve the focus. Yep, you heard me. Improve the focus, right? We're no longer blaming it on our distraction. We're no longer blaming it on TV. We're no longer blaming it on social media. We're no longer blaming it on your parents or the lack thereof. We're no longer blaming it that you were born in this place, in this environment with these people. We're no longer blaming that you didn't get the education you wanted or because your parents didn't let you go there and you couldn't do. We're no longer blaming it on the distraction. We're just going to simply improve the focus. Whatever is required must be done. I don't care if you have to separate yourself from other people, right? The people that you used to hang around, they're not trying to go where you're trying to go. So now you got to cut yourself off from them. I don't care if you got to call yourself higher. So you just can't do anything with anybody anymore. Or I don't care if you got to separate yourself and leave the environment that you used to be in. Stop hanging around the people that you used to hang around. I don't care what is required. I just need it to be done. Right? And it goes to the simple fact that you may just not be as sweet as you think you are. Yep, I said it. You may not just be as sweet as you think you are. You thought that, I was just going to set a goal and boom, I was going to blow up. You thought that just because you set the goal that you was just going to blow up. Right? But the thing that you said that you were going to do, you're not even doing it anymore. The goal that you said that you were going to pursue, you're not even chasing it anymore. Why? Because you thought, and you only set yourself up for success, but you never factored in failure. You never factored in that you was going to wake up one day and not have the motivation. You never factored in that you were going to wake up one day and you be tired. You never factored that in. You only factored in that you were going to be successful. You only factored in that you was going to work out every single day, that you're going to eat good every single day, that you was going to be willing to put in the work. But what about the days where you're not willing to put in the work? What about the days where it's tough to get up? And the saying is, failing to plan is planning to fail, right? And it gets down to the nitty gritty of understanding that you just aren't as sweet as you think you are. I realized it for myself that I had the skill. Right? I'm not saying that you're not gifted. You have the skill, but do you have the will? You have the skill, but do you have the will? And I realized that the reason why my will was shaky was simply because I didn't have a routine. How can I focus and be laser focused on the thing that I need to do if I wake up every single day and I don't even know what I need to do? I'm just waking up. I'm unprepared. I'm just waking up every single day trying to find something instead of having a whole set of things that I need to do. I need to have a routine. I found out that my success was rooted in my routine. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but what I'm saying is get a notepad, get on your phone, whatever it takes, right? Get a planner and create a routine so that you can be laser focused in on that one thing, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever that one thing is for you, whatever that thing that if you was to focus on this particular thing, right, have a priority. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us, we try to succeed in everything. We have so many goals. We have so many things that we want to do. We're so skillful in all these different places. God bless. But it makes us try to hit everything. And the problem is if you're trying to shoot at everything, you're not going to hit anything. Right? I want you to be focused on that one thing, have a priority that if you were to focus on that thing, it either makes everything else easier or it makes everything else irrelevant. Focus on that one thing. And lastly, principle number 3, which is become the beast. Yep, I said it, become the beast. Step into that beast mode. And how do we do that? It means getting to the point where you're willing to sacrifice who you are today for who you can become tomorrow. It's understanding that success does not take 5 to 10 years. What the world is trying to distract you into thinking or deceive you into thinking that success is so far ahead, when truthfully it's not. Truthfully, success is today. It's not 5 or 10 years from now, but it's today. It's the small steps that leads to the great distances. What I'm saying is that you can become who you want to be today. It actually requires you to become that person today. And it's understanding that what you do today determines where you'll be tomorrow. We all got the same 24. We all got the same 24, but people who are successful uses theirs differently. You know what? Go deeper. We all got the same 24, but people who are successful uses theirs intentionally. They use all 24 hours with intention. Even if they're resting, they're making sure that if I'm resting, I'm resting. They're making sure that if I'm working, I'm working. You're bleeding everything in between, right? Because you don't got no schedule. You don't have no routine. So on the times that you're supposed to be working, you sleeping. And the times that you're supposed to be sleeping, you working. And we're getting to that point where we have to step out of sleep. I know, I'm changing you, right? The whole point for this, like I said, I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm trying to transform you. So the understanding of this, I don't want you to sleep anymore. I need you to rest, right? Because when you're resting, it's actually preparing you for your work. But when you're sleeping, you're just sleeping. Right. And the thing about it is we have goals and we have dreams that's worth more than sleep. We're no longer sleeping. Sleep is for those who are broke, and we're no longer broke. Right. We're just going through a financial transition. We're no longer broke. We're stepping out of brokenness and we're getting into our blissful season. Right. So don't think about sleep anymore. Think about rest. And the thing about rest is a difference when you need rest versus when you just want to sleep. Sleep is an option. Rest is mandatory. Rest is a requirement. Rest is intentional. I need you to start being intentional. When I'm resting, it means that if I need to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, when do I need to rest so that I can wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get my day started? Because I got to be intentional with all 24 of my hours, because all of my hours mean something. When we start operating where all of the hours, we're no longer waiting on the day. We're no longer counting the week. We're no longer focused on the month or the year. Because my success can happen if I just be intentional about 1 hour. My success can happen if I just use all 24 hours every single day that I get. All 24 hours, because if I can use this 24, then tomorrow I can use all 48. And then the next, see what I'm saying? How it adds up. If you're just intentional, your success can happen in the next 36 hours. But you're focused on it happening in the next 36 weeks. If you would just lock in and focus on what my hours look like, it changed everything for you. Because think about how many hours you spend in your distraction. Think about how many hours you spend on your phone, idly, not just scrolling. Think about how many hours you spend watching TV. And how many hours, if I would just take those hours and implement it into my craft, or if I would just take those hours and implement it into rest. A lot of y'all are sleeping yourself to death. You're not even dead physically yet, but yet your dreams are dying simply because you're not willing to get up and work for them. And it's not because you don't have the innate ability to do so. It's not because you don't have the ability. You just forgot who your creator was. You just forgot who designed you. You got so focused on the desire that you forgot your design. You just got so focused that you actually got distracted. You got distracted in what the world was telling you that you lost focus on what God was saying. And I'm here to remind you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you're created in his image, right? In their image, you're created. So that means that innately you have the success. Innately you have everything that is necessary. It's just time to step into it. It's time to get out of the distraction, and it's time to improve the focus. And how do we do that? Is that we stop trying to do it within our own strength. We become the beast when we realize that we were designed to be a beast. We become the beast when we realize that God only created us fearfully and wonderfully. He didn't make us in lack. He didn't make us in poverty. The world has deceived us into thinking that that's where we should be. The world has deceived us into thinking that success is out of our reach, when truly we were already made to be successful without anything else. We were made to be great. So now it's time to step into that greatness, because I promise you, if you try to do it on your own strength, and I promise you, if you try to stay in the world and follow what the world tells you, man, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So please let go of the distraction and step into your design.